Right?
Exactly.
So new concerns about voter ID laws in key states. Could new guidelines make for a long night on election night? Andrew Napolitano, the judge, is in the house. How you doing, our Fox News senior judicial analyst?
Right now, I'm hungry for bacon,
Yeah,
Bill.
me too. It's not even noon. What's going on here? What's the difference now because of these new laws? They say what?
Well, the laws in many states, and the Supreme Court has upheld this as being reasonable to assure that vote tabulations and election night are accurate, require an ID issued by the government. So if a person shows up and they've always voted at this place, they've always lived at this address, but they don't have the ID, they can cast a provisional ballot. Now comes the problem. What do the election officials do with provisional ballots? Well, in some states, they will count the provisional ballots as soon as they can verify that this person is the person they claim to be, even though they didn't have an ID. In some states, they will not count the provisional ballots unless the race in that state is so close that the provisional ballots, if counted, could affect the outcome. Supreme Court has said these rules have to be uniform throughout the state. They can differ from state to state, but within a state, they have to be uniform. This is the first time that election officials have had this kind of burden imposed on them.
I got you. I'm starting to see it now. So there's a separate pile of votes that will be larger in the provisional ballot pile than we have seen before.
Yes, because people are likely to show up, and the election official would say, I know you're Bill Hemmer, and I know you live at such and such an address, and I know you've always registered here, but without the ID, I can only let you vote provisionally.
So we're going to cover our rear and let you do that. Now, what did the Supreme Court say in 2000, Bush v. Gore?
That whatever the state does, it has to do it uniformly. So they can't, for example, in one end of a state, quickly count the provisional ballots because they recognize the voter, but in another end of the state, take their time and verify who the voter was. They have to be the same throughout the entire state. If they do it in one part quickly and another part slowly, they're violating the rights of the voter in the part of the state where they did it slowly.
So get rid of the butterfly ballots, which has been done, by the way.
Right.
Now, listen, will this deter fraud? Will it get rid of folks who are not registered?
I think it will deter fraud. It will deter people from voting who are not registered. But it may cause all of us to work very early into the morning of the Wednesday after Election Day because it's going to slow down the final official tabulations. Remember, the process we're happening does not happen in one central location throughout any given state. It happens in hundreds, in some cases thousands of precincts. And they all have to do the same thing at the same time.
Or even beyond Wednesday if races are that close.
Oh, don't even say that, Bill. We've been through that in 2000.
Anyway, we like working. How many states are we talking about that could be impacted by these new laws?
A dozen.
12.
Yeah, some as large as Texas.
Right on, Judge. You'll watch it for us, won't you?
It's my job, Bill.
Okay, buddy.